Hi, this is Tennille Felbush, and today I'm going to talk about the cause and effect or causal essay. Before you begin any essay, of course, you want to make sure you're comfortable and familiar with the type of essay argument as well as the structure of the essay. So let's go ahead and take a look at some ideas for cause and effect as applied to a 5-paragraph essay structure. Here are some words to get you started thinking about cause and effect. Some words include consequences, reasons, as a result of. So take a look at these and hopefully they'll inspire you to think about cause and effect relationships. If you're not familiar with this type of essay, make sure you read, of course, all of your course materials on this topic and research cause and effect outside of your class as well. And then make sure you know your general topic for your specific class and instructor and assignment. So in my current class that I'm teaching, the focus for the class in all essays is either organ sales or organ donation. So that's their starting point for their topic. Moving on from that general topic, then you'll pick one major event, social concern, political action, statistic, or some other snapshot in time about your topic. Because in a cause and effect essay, you'll need to make a judgment based on that snapshot, and that judgment can be a series of causes leading up to it or a series of effects leading out from it, or a combination thereof. But you'll want to know what your main focus snapshot is, whether it's an event, a concern, an action, or some other snapshot of time. One way to do this is to think about, why is this snapshot important to society? Why is it a problem or a benefit? How has it affected society or people or culture? That's one way you know that you'll be able to find enough research and ideas for cause and effect. So here is a picture, a snapshot of a capsule idea. So just like a time capsule, as you're researching under your general topic, find something that interests you, something that you want to dig up, so you can find what caused it or contemplate what the effects were coming directly after that, or even what might happen in the future because of that particular snapshot in time. So time is the key here. That's one way to really narrow down your focal point. You can focus on something in history, like a time capsule that's been buried, and look behind it to see why it happened, or look ahead of it to see what the effects were. So under organ sales or donation, my current class topic, one past snapshot could be the issue of recent theft of children's organs. This is definitely an issue, so it's something that other people have researched, that they have developed opinions on why that is happening, and maybe what it says or what the effects are on society because of that. You could also narrow your snapshot to current times. You can find the most recent statistic on some part of your general topic. Maybe this is under organ sales and donation, how many people at this time need organs versus how many organ donors there are. So that is an issue. It's a snapshot in time, and people have written on why this is a problem and what people's thinking might be behind the reasoning for why they do or do not sign up for organ donor status. Probably the most challenging one is to think about the future, or what you think will happen in the future that could possibly be a snapshot that you could focus your argument on. Under our topic of organ sales or donation, You could prove that the wealthy or the first world people will have more access to organs in the future because of certain actions that are happening now or that have happened, some causes leading up to that. So as you can see, you have some choice in this topic in cause and effect. You'll need to pick your snapshot. What is your focal issue or problem or concern? What interests you, past, present, or future under this topic? After you have your snapshot in time, think about what caused this, what led up to it directly, and or what effects there are directly after that event or snapshot or decision. So determine out of those causes and effects which ones you want to focus on, either causes or effects or combination thereof. Make sure that you've tested each of those, that they are logical causes or effects for that snapshot focus. Research opinions there have been on your focal point. Other people have opinions on why this has happened or will happen or is happening now. If you can't find opinions on your particular snapshot, it may be that it's not debatable enough. So you could go back and choose a different snapshot or focus if the research is not there, if you're not finding opinions on this idea. Okay, once you have some research, you have some causes and or effects, and your snapshot, and you know it's debatable, then you can start crafting your thesis and topic sentence claims. So narrow those causes or effects into a chain, find a connection, and an argument there. One of the most logical progressions is a chain, like we have in this picture here. You could start with your focal point or snapshot and then list the biggest or most logical effect after that snapshot. And then from that effect, what does that effect cause as another effect, and onward and so forth. Or if your snapshot is at the end of your ideas, you could end with your snapshot as a final effect and think about the causes, the cause and effect relationship. What cause was maybe 3 steps back from that snapshot? What was 2 steps back from that outcome? And what was the most direct effect of your snapshot? So really think about the order, the progression. If you don't see a causal chain, then maybe there's another relationship that you see that's causal as well. Maybe they come together at the same time, but you'll need to explain that connection, just like transitions between body paragraphs, just like transitions between sentences. Think about how your causes and effects are related. So here's a sample thesis idea with a snapshot and causes or effects. As I read this, see if you can guess if most of the reasons for this snapshot are causes leading up to it or effects leading out from it, and whether or not this is past, present, or a future snapshot. Legalizing organ sales will lead to more transplant access for the first world, to the widening of the financial gap, and ultimately to the quality of life difference between the rich and poor. You were right if this guess was the future. This was a future prediction, and the snapshot was legalizing organ sales as that future prediction of what could happen. And everything after that snapshot are the effects that the writer is arguing will happen from legalizing organ sales. And you can see that they're in logical order. A leads to B, which leads to C. So really think about your snapshot, whether or not you're going to focus on a current or past or future snapshot and whether or not you're going to focus on mostly causes leading up to it or effects leading out from it, and then how you're going to organize and connect those. All right, here are some ways to test your causal chain and your ideas to make sure that you have a debatable cause and effect argument. One way to do this is to avoid non-debatable causal judgments. For instance, if I put a quarter in a gumball machine, most likely know that the mechanical methods are going to give me a gumball. This is a mechanical, straightforward cause and effect, which follows the general cause and effect structure, but there aren't many arguments that I could create based upon whether or not a gumball's going to come out after I put a coin in the machine. So avoid using only scientific, medical, or physical reasons or causes and effects, because that's not debatable. You'll need to have something that's maybe political or social, maybe somebody to blame or something to blame that caused your snapshot or will cause some effects after your snapshot. So make sure you have something, either society or policy-based, some kind of judgment, rather than medical or physical or scientific reasons. No one's going to argue with time and tested science or physical or medical reasons unless maybe they're not educated on that particular topic. So move beyond just informational or expository writing and make an argument. Okay, here are some ideas for starting your outline. Research, 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 of course. Choose at least 3 leading causes or effects and test the order. Make sure it's logical. See what others have said about your snapshot event or statistic in time. Make a prediction or another type of judgment, a blame or a praise kind of judgment. Why is this happening? Why did it happen? Why will it happen? Look for opposing arguments, those who would argue against your causal chain argument. Maybe there are those who would believe that legalizing organ sales, for instance, would not lead to a widening gap between the rich and the poor. Perhaps there are those who believe that that gap would shrink based on legalizing organ sales. Another trap to avoid is using a correlation or a relationship rather than a direct cause and effect relationship. So you can see in this picture, just because people have umbrellas doesn't mean that it's raining. So there are different fallacies that can be created based upon a cause and effect relationship that doesn't quite work. Maybe the order's wrong. Maybe there are other factors that have not been considered. So make sure that not only is your chain logical, but that it's not a fallacy or a correlation relationship rather than cause and effect directly. Okay, here we go into the general 5-paragraph essay structure. Just like any other essay, you want to have maybe a grabber, background about your issue or your snapshot, and then of course your thesis, which will have your argument, your causal chain. This is caused by X, Y, and Z, or will cause X, Y, and Z, and some sort of judgment that the reader can recognize that this is not just mechanical, it's not just physics, but it's a social or political or event-based prediction or outcome. Here are the body paragraphs where you'll take each one of those cause and effect arguments and support them with a topic sentence and outside research. You can also, of course, have a rebuttal. Some instructors may require that. It really depends on your course assignment description. And your conclusion. As always, you'll want to sum up your argument, restate your thesis and topic ideas, maybe have a final memorable thought, something that not only ties your ideas together, but makes the reader remember them and think about them further. Here I have a picture of a waterfall hair design. If you think of a waterfall, a picture of a waterfall, that waterfall is always changing because it's in society or culture. And there are many factors causing that waterfall, and there are effects of that waterfall in nature. So think about cause and effect. Under your general topic, what snapshot interests you, and weave your causal chain argument. Happy weaving!